Shoes just aren't practical for a dead body. They might not even fit. Plus, nobody wants to decompose in a toxic soup. Here's why people are often buried without shoes. The next funeral you go to, lift up the lid on the bottom half of the coffin. If the sudden surge of loved ones yelling and shouting doesn't distract you, you might notice that the deceased isn't wearing any shoes.
I'm gonna show you. Away from there.
Why? Well, it turns out that this is fairly common in burials, at least in Western culture. You might guess the first reason for this. Since many coffins only show the upper half of a dead person's body, putting shoes on is simply unnecessary unless the family of the deceased requests it. In fact, since these coffins only show half a person's body, you could probably get away with burying someone without pants, too. But there are other reasons for the dead going shoeless as well, including ecological, practical, and physical concerns. After a person dies, their body undergoes an array of changes, such as rigor mortis, that may distort their extremities or even bloat them. In other words, it's unpredictable whether or not any of the dead person's shoes will even fit anymore. Over the years, some companies have made special slippers for this purpose. Half a century ago, the shoemakers at the Practical Burial Footwear Company made stretchy shoes that could fit over distorted feet of a dead person who had undergone rigor mortis. But during the expensive funeral process, a grieving family might not want to make an additional purchase that many would consider unnecessary. Going barefoot is free, and as it turns out, it's a whole lot better for the environment. In fact, as Wilson's funeral advice explains, even if the family opts to display the body with shoes, the shoes are often removed before the casket goes into the ground. See, many modern shoes are made from artificial materials that take a long time to degrade and could potentially leach chemicals into the soil. According to The Guardian, the materials used in some shoes virtually guarantee that the soles won't break down for up to 1,000 years. For ecologically minded families, particularly those opting for an otherwise green burial, this might not be something you want to happen. Of course, the same thing goes for all the clothes the deceased might be wearing. Many kinds of clothes aren't suitable for a green burial, according to Funeral Guide. What kinds of materials are fit to go 6 feet under? Untreated natural fibers like cotton, wool, linen, hemp, or bamboo are acceptable for green funerals. But any artificial materials, even small details like elastic waistbands, polyester linings, or metal zippers, are kind of off limits for a natural burial.
Our only requirement is that it be biodegradable. Everything must break down.
Besides all of the above reasons for the dead to go shoeless, there's another factor: price. Have you seen the price of quality footwear these days? One traditional way of dealing with a deceased person's shoes is giving them away as gifts. It's not a new idea. In the Middle Ages, shoes could be bequeathed by name in a person's will. This didn't just have economic benefits either. People believed this was a way of keeping the spirits of the dead person alive. Even if the decedent has not requested a green funeral, if they are cremated, they may not be allowed to wear shoes. Treated leather and rubber soles are considered hazardous to burn for safety and environmental reasons, per Funeral Guide. Finally, for many cultures, it's traditional to be buried in a shroud instead of a suit or dress. In these cases, shoes are typically not worn since the shroud is long enough to cover the feet. In Judaism, for instance, it's traditional for the deceased to wear a white linen shroud called a takrikum. These simple white coverings were conceived to exemplify the idea that in death, everyone would be equal regardless of how much money they had in life. Other religions use funeral shrouds too, particularly Islam, and they can be found across cultures all around the world. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.